On today's episode, we're gonna do a little bit of SEO for developers. That sounds about boring, right? But no, stick a little bit around and hope you can learn a little bit of one thing or another. So this is my website, right? So we're gonna do a little bit of a report here. Let's see accessibility, SEO. Let's just go into SEO just for the video reasons. So the main objective here is learning how to do SEO for developers. So I'm not talking about how you're going to do the keyword research or what's the copy that you're going to use on the description tags. None of that crap. So we got a 92 score. That's not bad. That's not bad. We're not even trying, so that's good. So we can see that the only thing that we didn't pass on are some links are not crawlable. So I guess that was probably a mistype on something. I don't know. Good job, you. We can see we passed a lot of audit. So the viewport, the titles, descriptions, href flag, alts, canonicals, font sizes. We got a lot of things that not bad, not too shabby. Not too shabby. But what we are mainly going to focus on is these data structure testing tools. So let's have a look at this. I'm just gonna copy my website over here. And now let's run this. So for those who don't know what is the data structure data, let me just move me a little bit around. Now let's try this rich results test. So for those that don't know what are these like data structure and rich result stuff, when you go on Google, and especially if you're typing an article or a news or a video or anything like that, you'll see that on top of the page of the Google search that's going to be like rich snippets. So that's like a carousel with little articles and news. And if you go on your phone, you got the Google News application when you have a bunch of news, and I guess it can shows up as videos, as image on Google Image, and a lot of things actually use on Google the rich snippets and the structure of data. So you'll see that as like my website's like a blog, right? So it's mainly our rich snippets going to be articles. So you see that we got a bunch of articles right here. They all are eligible for the rich results. And we got a little warning, missing field, that one. That's okay. You don't really need to worry about that one. And you'll see that you got a bunch of articles over here. Let's just see, like this one. So its type is an article. The image, you're gonna have the URL for the image. The name is gonna be the title. As well, and another name is going to be the article title thing or something like that, and then the URL. So if we go on the code, let's just go a little bit here on the code. Let's go that one. So the website was made on Next.js, so that's React for server-side rendering, so that the Google crawler can absolutely crawl everything on the page. And if you go here on our add section tag, we got the title, the description, the keyword, the robots, the page name, channel, content type. Well, this is a little bit like too much, this part over here, don't really need that, but these three are definitely important. So the title, the description, the keywords. But then you got more stuff. So you got this one, that's for the schemas part as well, so that the schema can understand what's your site name, description. I don't have a description for that one, my bad. And the image. And then we got a couple more tags for the property OG type, so that will be the Facebook, the Instagram, Pinterest, I believe. And then you got the Twitter reach tags. So we got Twitter card, URL, title, descriptions, and image. So this is more and more of the same, but it's really important. So if you share a link on social media, it will get this image, it will get this description, this title, and this URL. This is not, this is not my test environment. This is not on the, sorry, this is not on the live website. So on the live website, I got a different description, a URLs, different image, and all of that. And then we got the canonical. So it's the canonical of the web page. It's very important actually. So it tells Google that this URL page should be this one, or this page URL should be this one. Because sometimes you can enter a website with a different address on the URL, and it goes to a, let's say, template page, and you redirect them with the canonical for the right page. So that one's important. And what's missing here, I believe, it's on the body of the HTML, the language of the website. But let's focus a little bit more on what's the schema. So if I go on the schema website, you can see that the schema was founded by Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, and Index. Schema.org, vocabulary developed by an open community process using yada yada yada, mirroring through GitHub, yada yada yada. Over 10 million websites use schema.org to mark up their web page and email message. Many applications on Google. Yeah, you can read all about that, but that's just to make the point that schema was founded by Google and Microsoft and Yahoo and Index. And they do, the Google bots and all the search engines bots, they do really use and look for this markup stuff or this data structure. And if they wouldn't use it, then it wouldn't be on search Google on the webmaster tool. So if you don't know webmaster tools, you really should. Let's just look a little bit here. So this is the Google Search Console, so you can see on your website how is it performing over the last few months. So let's just change here for the right website. Actually, let's just put this one as an example. So this was a e-commerce website that I made a couple years ago, and you can see here on the left side on enhancements, you got this little thing like breadcrumbs, mobile usability, core web vitals, and product. So this like product, it was part of the schema that I did back then, and right now there is 39 with an error. That's good, but it still makes the point, right? So because there is, if you go on the schema.org and you write for product, and you go on the product schema type, you'll see there is this type of structure, I would say, that any offered product or service, for example, a pair of shoes, a concerned teeth, yada yada yada. So yeah, so this would be the property for products. If you add on a website products, that's this type of schema that you'd use, and Google would recognize then that little part of the HTML, it's actually a product, and they can bring on the title, the URL, the price of that product, and show it right away on the search results without the final user need to actually go into the website. So how does that work? So let's look here on a little bit of the code. So for the articles part of the schema, we can see that I got this first feature article over here. So we got the URL and the href link, and then we got a little bit something over here. So we got the item scope, item type, article. So this means that this parent or this part of the section of the HTML is going to be an article, and you identify that by writing item scope, item type, article. So if it was a product, you would put product over here. So once the Google bot enters your website, He'll then recognize that this little bit of HTML is an article. So he's gonna look inside and see, okay, so give me the image, so item prop image. So let's look for a title. So item prop name, so this is the title of the article. Let's go for a little bit of the description of the article. So item prop about. Let's look for the creator of that article and item creator, yada yada yada. Let's look for the date published of that article, yada yada yada, and so on and so on. And then you got the meta item prop URL for the URL of the product, of the article, and so on and so on. And then you can see that I have it all over the website on all articles. You got the item scope, item type, article, name, about, etc, etc. Let's just go a little bit over here. So if I go to, and this does take a little bit of time sometimes for the Googlebot to recognize it. You can see that I still don't have any articles over here, but that's okay. The website is kind of new still. And if I go to the report, if we fix this tiny error here, I'm sure that's just a closing problem. I think it's the buttons that I use for the closing pop-ups. They don't really have a href link. It's just on click close the pop-up. So that's a little bit of SEO mistake. And I think if we fix that, we surely can bring this up to 100% on the SEO part for sure. What else we got here? So as a developer, when I usually code, I mainly focus on making sure that the HTML is not breaking, like the href over there. But then I always look up for these item scopes and see where I can incorporate these item scopes. So let's say here on the menu, I got a little bit something over here as well. Let's just scroll down with this endless time of functions. Right here, so on my menu, I got a role menu bar and roles menu items. So this will say to the Google that this is my menu and this is my items menu. So when you Google search my website, you can see that below the title and the main web page URL, you can see that there's a couple of bullet points of other pages for the website, and that will be the menu. And you'll get that by doing menu bar, menu item, and so on and so on. And that makes it just better for the user, for the final user overall. Overall, it's important that you have alt tags in all your image. Even through here, I don't have it. Good luck on that. But that's a test environment on my live website. I think it's there. I hope it's there. And then it's important that, again, you use the item title, descriptions, keywords, and all of these dumb meta tags. It's really just copy and paste from project to project and change the titles. And sometimes if you are working on the team, you don't even need to change this. You just copy paste there, put it there, let the SEO and marketing guys do their jobs. But mainly most of them, I actually don't, I rarely see anyone using the schema org or any type of the schema types for articles or for products on their website, and it makes it different. Okay, it makes a little bit of a difference. It's like you stepping up your game, I guess. And I think that's it. For SEO. I think that's it.